every few months I get this video arising inside me, an urge to make this type of video. And it's basically, and I can do it simply, I think, it's a warning. Be cautious of the illusion of the perfected self that comes across through YouTube. When you are watching persons speaking on spiritual topics especially, it's very easy to pedestal them and think that they've attained something and you must be perfect like them. But it's not true. I'm just as much a mess as you, believe me. And there are those who live a monastic life in an ashram, and they are permanently in a physical surrounding that allows them to cultivate their compassion and mindfulness. But many of us have families and work to do and jobs to do, as I do with the charity and the social media platform we're about to launch, and my children, and etc. And so we all have our challenges that make us go up and down in our consciousness and awareness. And the important thing is just not to get lost in the identification with form. I have problems in my life. I have still dealing and wrestling with the underworld of this disability that I temporarily still have, as I'm told by medical professionals. It's temporary, it will be conquered. So I have all of these ups and downs and tumultuous times, but the important thing is that I have stayed rooted on understanding the difference between identifying with that and identifying with the eternal love of God, which is present in us all. And so I only hope in sharing what I do that you find those tools to feel joy and happiness and contentment and mindfulness in your life. And beyond there, I hope as well that perhaps be instilled by that presence a vision that will help to change lives that need to be changed, as I've witnessed with the wonderful journey of starting a family of nearly 200 children and over 120 dogs out in Africa. By being mindful, that arose inside me, and as you all know, I say that was a gift from God. But if you look at me and you say, oh, this guy, he's got it all sorted, I want to be like that, stop doing that. It's the illusion of YouTube. I don't point the camera at myself when I'm angry, and I've seen people in real life. They meet me in real life and they're very disappointed. And it's not a purposeful deception at all. It's just I get into a very deep, mindful, self-introspective state, time alone in nature, then I record. This is what I do because I speak on these topics that motivate me, and I'm so always talking about God in my life. I love God. I love the work of serving with God and doing the goodness in the world that we do. This is part of my nature. But if you look at me and think I'm just somehow perfected, nobody's perfect. And most spiritual YouTubers are never going to point the camera at themselves when they're in a bad state. And so just be aware of that. You may have work to do, you may have things to improve, but there was no perfected person on the other end of that camera. Maybe they have information that can help you to get to where you need to be, but you are loved by God, God's grace is with you, and that's what's important. You may have behaviors that you need to alter and change. Work on those. Don't condemn yourself too heavily when it doesn't work out. Don't pedestal other people and say, I wish I could be like that. Don't compare yourself. Don't covet thy neighbour's oxen, as it is said in biblical terms. Just know that we are all a mess somewhere deep down inside. Some of us have become much more identified with spirit, so the mess is very quiet and the joy is very evident in our hearts, even through difficult times of sickness or whatever else is going on. I can feel joy and contentment within that. If that's what you're after, you can have it, you can find it. But don't pedestal. Don't pedestal. Don't think that persons who find that and know that truth are somehow now perfect and able to levitate on a cloud of love constantly. Because it doesn't work this way. And this is a falsehood of awakening, a falsehood of spiritual teaching. We're all a mess. None are perfect. Don't let the illusion of a perfected self be presented to you inadvertently by YouTube. God bless, guys. Bye. Over the years, many of you know I have used this channel to be the sole source of promotion for the work that we do to bring God's love into this world out in Tanzania. Up to now, using the publicity from this channel and the love and kindness of those human beings who are among those watching, we have managed to build a special needs community, a village dedicated to the care and support of special needs children in crisis. Some of these children come from the most horrendous backgrounds, And thanks to that village and that community that we call Feathers Tail, a great deal of love and healing has been provided in their lives. Our family in Tanzania is now made up of nearly 200 children who are in need of a loving family home. And I'm just making this to say thank you to everybody who supports what we do. Thank you to everybody who shares what they can, be it time, resources, fundraising and creativity found there. Thank you. You have made the foundations of our family possible. And it is through you guys and your love and support that we are able to bring this spark of God's unconditioned love into the world. If you want more information on our projects, please visit www.sharetanzania.com. God bless, guys.